How do you feel mentally going into next week? Did you learn anything from watching the game at home? Is there a new perspective? Just where are you post-COVID getting back into football, Aaron?
Well, I've watched 3 games on TV now in my career. I watched a game in 2006 after my foot surgery against the Seahawks. I watched a game against the Saints after I got my collarbone surgery in 17, and this one now is my third one. It's not fun. It's hard to be away from the team. I'd rather be on the sidelines not playing than watching from home. You definitely, it is a different perspective with the camera views and some of those things. But look, it's hard to be away from the guys. I missed being there. I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of the way they battled. All the guys. I thought the defense played really well. I'm proud of Jordan the way he battled. I thought he hung in there and played tough and made some really good throws. Obviously, special teams was not special in the game, and with a couple things cleaned up, that game looks a little different, I think. So we got to be better in those phases, but yeah, I don't want to miss any more games. It's hard to watch.
Can I ask you about Jordan Love's performance and your thoughts on what it could have been like for him or what it had to have been like for him, especially, with his mom and girlfriend sitting in the top of the top row up there, which, by the way, that is something that does happen in the NFL, especially for younger guys, whenever the ticket allotments at away games. I don't know if I've ever seen a starting quarterback's mom on the last row up there, but that is an entire gamesmanship that happens sometimes between teams about where the tickets are at. But your thoughts on Jordan's performance, especially with the situation he was thrown into?
Tough situation, definitely. I'm really proud of him, the way he went about his business. It is true, like the ticket stuff, they will put home team, family in some of the worst spots probably in the state, in the top row. I mean, I always think about Chicago. Where they put those seats up in the top, right cold area where the wind just hammers them at that point. But I'm proud of Jordan. I thought he hung in there, and the only thing I told him during the week was just to trust his feet, because he is a very athletic guy, and I thought he did a nice job avoiding sacks, getting out of the pocket, making positive plays out of, potential sacks. And, I might have got sacked in certain situations. He was able to lucidly get out of the pocket there and have positive gains. There were nerves going for sure. I mean, how could there not be? And a tough environment to play in, one of the loudest outdoor stadiums in the entire NFL against, the reigning 2-time Super Bowl representatives from the AFC. So, I'm proud of the way that he battled. A big touchdown to keep us in it there in the fourth, and then obviously just couldn't get the ball back at that point. But I think there's a lot of really good things to build on, and I think that should give him confidence moving forward.
24.5 million people watch that game, I think, which is up over something like that. Everybody's assuming that if you do clear the medical hurdles that you will have to clear with that on Saturday, then they'll have to put you through those tests.
I think there'll be some sort of clearance test to happen on Saturday. Yeah.
So I assume the next Packers Seahawks, with Russ coming back with the pin, with you coming back, that number is going to be even larger. And Jordan, knowing all of that, by the way, Jordan has to know all of that. When you're watching that game from home, are you standing up in your shotgun thing? Are you dissecting what you would do? Are you doing game checks? Are you doing mental reps? Or are you just watching as a fan, pulling for Jordan like, Is that how you watch that game?
I'm mostly laying down watching. But, obviously I understand what our offense is and what we're trying to do. So I'm trying to guess the plays as we're breaking the huddle based on formation and motion and if there's any, checks that Jay was doing at the line of scrimmage. But yeah, those are your boys, so I'm pulling for all those guys. And it's weird because, on TV, the angles are so tight, Jay threw a ball up there and you're just like, who's that going to? And then Cobby comes down with it. And, on one of our big scramble plays that kind of got us going there. And then, when Allen scored his touchdown, Allen's a good friend of mine. So super pumped for him. But yeah, it was good to see Marquez come back and run around a little bit. And I thought, some of the stuff we did with some of the 4 receiver packages was good, especially not having Bobby. I thought Mercedes played really well. I thought the line did a nice job. And then defensively, man, those guys play outstanding. Just really, really proud of those guys.
How about A.J. Dillon seems to be coming into his own? I don't know if that's just like more mature experience or the offense, he's starting to either grasp it or you guys are starting to take advantage more of what A.J. Dillon is. How do you see him growing, especially with Aaron Jones back there? That is quite a tag team to go into the playoffs with.
Well, his catching of the football, I think, has really improved. And every game it seems like he's making a play in the pass game. You know, he's making a catch and making a guy miss. The running is kind of the standard now. He's averaging 4+ yards a carry, and he's making guys miss, and he's bouncing off guys, running behind his pads. It's been great. He's been a great 1-2 punch for us with Jonesy. But his catching of the football has been really, really solid. I mean, he's been making things happen consistently with it, so I'm really proud of him. He's a great kid, though. I mean, he really is. He works his tail off, and he's just a really good teammate, good locker room guy. And it's fun to see his role expand and him make the most of those opportunities.
Could you imagine being a guy that would talk shit on A.J. Dillon from a hit that you made in high school as a 19-year-old and A.J. was a 13-year-old, and then you would still talk shit to this day about that thing? Could you imagine that, Aaron?
Is that Connor or what?
Yeah. No, not me.
Hey, it was a big time shot in high school, though. I mean,
won the game.
It was that one hit.
It sent the message that ended up carrying through the game.
All right. Anyways, you still
30-yard gain.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, but the message.
But the message lasted.
From the 19-year-old with scratch offs literally in his pads to the 13-year-old that just got dropped off.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, that is unbelievable that actually happened. But you guys have an Oklahoma drill. It needs to be settled. Go ahead, Todd.
See.
Aaron, fingers crossed you can play Sunday. When you don't get like practice reps during the week, I don't think with like a guy like Devontae it really matters because you guys just pick up and you'll be on the same page. But like with MVS, who's been out for a couple weeks now, like does that worry you at all? Or like how long will it take? How long does it take to get back into rhythm with some of those guys you haven't played with in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, that might be a little difficult, but we have a lot of banked reps. We have a lot of banked conversations about things. I'm not worried about the continuity between, Randall and myself and Devontae and Allen and MVS. We have so many reps that we've had over the years. Like there might be, opportunities for for just being a tad bit off or miscommunication. But, we're going to be talking all week about the plan, and then we just got to go out and execute. That's what we're paid to do is to be able to perform those moments, and hopefully we'll be lockstep when we get out there on the field.
Hey, I hope your heart's good. I hope your body's good. I hope we get a chance to see you perform on Sunday against Russell Wilson, who just had a pin removed from his finger, working harder than any human in the history of injuries to get back. It should be an absolutely electric affair.